huge apartment building, lots of families, very popular. Look at that stonework on that building around the front door, the arches and the peaks and stuff. That stuff was very expensive back in the day. Now it's all overgrown. The landscaping, the windows, the building. That building probably doesn't even have a roof in it. You can't see through the windows. And then you go on and you continue to see the damage, people dumping mattresses and stuff. This mattress that you're looking at now hasn't been here long. It still looks fairly clean as far as mattresses go that have been dumped, so that hasn't been there that long. If you can see inside that window, the ceilings have caved in, and that apartment and the landscaping and all that is just completely gone. You see that graffiti. Graffiti is also an issue here in East Cleveland. There's a Wendy's down the street that shut down, and they put the place for lease. They were going to rent it out, and somebody put graffiti all over the building. They didn't break in it, but they put graffiti all over it. Now, something I just saw, okay, that fire hydrant is out of service. Okay, if they put a sign on it that said it's out of service. But if they have a fire down here and they need that, it's not working. And I can see, the camera's probably not that good to see it, but I can clearly see that that's a brass fire hydrant. It's been painted to look new. So look at all this landscaping, people dumping this stuff. Look at all this broken glass. Broken glass is a big issue. It's a hazard. People can get cut. I'm sure hundreds of people have gone to the hospital having to get stitches. The city built up this area, and they put in a little park, picnic tables. They cut the grass, garbage cans. You can put your garbage, okay? And they put park benches and different things. And a lot of deer live over here, you know, over in that area there. But as you can see, there's nobody here. There's nobody sitting on these benches, nobody in this little park area. Okay, it's basically abandoned. So I don't know why they would spend the money to build up a park that nobody's going to use, because the park is right across the street from seriously hazardous properties with broken glass and vermin and raccoons and animals and people and drugs and all kind of stuff. See, look at the park. Okay, they built up this, put that fence up. That fence is quite expensive. Okay, they put picnic tables, benches, all that stuff. Okay, but as you can see, nobody's there. Nobody's there at all. So the building behind here on the park here, as you can see, it's all been graffitied up. There's graffiti all over the building. Okay, as you can see, all the way down the side of the building. Look at that, all the way down the side. They put graffiti on that building. Okay, that building is abandoned, and it doesn't look like it's been broken into, because they do have a fence here, as you can see. Okay, and this is a grease-only dumpster from a restaurant. It's in front of an abandoned building that has a regular dumpster, as you can see. They had one anyway. So that grease-only dumpster was stolen, and they probably tried to scrap it, but they couldn't scrap it, so they dumped it here, because a grease-only dumpster is strictly for restaurants. Okay, that's what they're for, and that shouldn't be there. So they dumping stuff there. Okay, and I want to go up another couple streets and show you some more properties and I'm gonna get to that apartment building that I was telling you about, because the two buildings that I really want to show you just absolutely blow my mind. Okay, this is a hotel that we're going past, that building there. It's still open, McCall's Hotel. Okay, and we're going down here, and there are some houses that are still occupied. Okay, and I guarantee you before we get to the end of the street, we're going to come across an empty abandoned house. And right away, here we go. They're living in that house, and next door to that house, look at that. Look at that. That is completely ridiculous. And the city lets it live, and they let it go, and they don't do nothing about it. Right next door to people's houses where people are living at. It's crazy. How you doing? All right. This house has had the siding taken off of it. You see those strips? That was strips to put siding on it. They took that siding off for some reason. That house is abandoned, and it's right next door to other houses that are occupied. It's really ridiculous the way the city lets these properties live. It would cost them a few $1 billion, admittedly, to tear everything down, but I think that the city has gotten some government grants, and let's just say nothing major ever happened. You know, I don't know what happened to the money. I don't even know if there was money. I'm pretty sure there was to take care of some of this stuff, but they didn't do anything. This corner lot here is city property, and look at that tree fell down there. And the city, it's been down for a while, as you can see. That tree there is dead, needs to be cut down. This tree here is on its last leg, and that's city property, owned by the city of East Cleveland, and they let it stay like that. So we're coming up. You can see a lot of these properties are occupied, but they're not in good shape at all. This house here has clearly been on fire. Look at that house. That house is right next door to a house where somebody lives. That's crazy. That whole house, you can see it's been on fire. Move, dude. Dude, get back there. Look at that house. It's been on fire. And right next door is people living there. The city won't tear it down. Looks like a notice on the door. They put a lock on it. But what good is that going to do? These houses are... Here's another abandoned house right across the street. People dumping stuff. Trees falling down in the yard. And that's right between this yellow house that people live in because it looks good and clean. The grass is cut pretty well. And right between them is a complete eyesore. So it's pretty bad the way that the city does. You can always tell. You can tell an abandoned property by the landscaping. Okay, get back there. Okay, look at this house here. They stole the siding off of it. Look at this big fancy house. That's a two-family. The front roof, the front porch, all that. Look at that fancy work. All that is very expensive back in the day. Very fancy. Now it's ramshackle and abandoned. Not worth $10. And they probably, whoever owns it, probably owes $100,000 in taxes on the property. Here we come on another house. Look at this house. It's right next door to a house that's occupied. Rest in peace, D.D. Tonio Thirst. Okay? The landscaping is overgrown. The doors are open. The windows are bad. It's clearly been ramshackled and abandoned. It's an eyesore and it's very dangerous. This building on the corner here looks like it has new windows. I'm surprised that the windows haven't been broken out. And it does look empty. All the windows are open, but there is light in there in that window if you can see it. And it has a no trespassing sign. So the building is empty, but there is the possibility of a little life left in it. So that's Page Avenue, and we're gonna go here because I still want to show you these two buildings that I'm talking about. And it's amazing to me how the city could let it happen. It's amazing. And I think it's going to be, well, it might not be a surprise to you, but it's going to be different. I guarantee you it's going to be different. Okay, here's Chapman and Elderwood again. We did video on that yesterday. Okay, we're going to go up Grassmere and go down the street to the building, the two buildings that I want to show you. And I hope that this camera can see it. Okay. A boarded up house. This street doesn't look too bad, but I guarantee you something bad will happen before we hit the corner. Something always does. There's abandoned, ramshackled houses on every street. A lot of them are, like you saw, right next door to people that are living in houses, and the city won't tear them down. The county in Cuyahoga County will not let go of the taxes. Okay, so here we go. That's the empty abandoned one. I told you something would happen before we hit the corner. Okay, that's empty and abandoned, boarded it up, and it's no good. Here across the street, another empty, abandoned, boarded up house. You can see the gutters and stuff. The porch and the roof and that is ready to come down. But we're gonna go down Stanwood, and Stanwood has a school. It's right there. What I'm going to show you now is amazing to me that the city will let this live the way they do. Okay. All right. If you can see that Shaw High School in front of you, you can see the big buildings. They're fairly new buildings. Okay. And then you see the sign says school. Speed limit, so you're in a school zone. And this building here is an elementary school. That's an elementary school you're looking at right there. Okay? And a lot of young kids go there. Obviously that school is in good condition. It's still open. And the school goes on down. Looks like they're putting new doors on the school. Prospect Academy, 5-star academy, it says. Okay. Alright, now we just passed a school on the same street within 50 yards of that school where elementary kids' schools go. Look at this building. That building is completely abandoned, completely boarded up, and it's an eyesore, it's a hazard. Okay, look at these, and this building here on the corner as well. The landscaping hasn't been done. Thousands and thousands and probably 100,000 kids pass by this every day, or every year, not every day, every year, going to school. Okay, the city did put a blockade there so you couldn't pull in the driveway and dump stuff, but this is within 50 yards of an elementary school and a high school. Okay, it's completely abandoned, completely ridiculous, right by the school. Okay, and if you can see, the roof on this building is completely gone. Okay, you can look through the windows and see the sky. All right, so the roof is caved in. I don't know how well you can see it, but the roof is caved in. You got your graffiti down the side. All right, you got businesses in the front. Okay, they broke it in there. Up there in that right corner there where that square is, they took an air conditioner out. All right, so they'll steal it. Okay, the front of the building, I don't got none. It's completely abandoned. Okay, dude begging for a cigarette, begging for 50 cents. Okay, this building is within 50 yards of a school, an elementary school. Look at that building. Look at all that broken glass that can fall and hit the kids going back and forth. Look at the right-hand top corner. That roof is completely gone. Okay, this was a self-help building you're looking at now. It's closed. They used to help people that were on drugs and had, let's just say, personal problems that they needed help with. So then you got some houses here that are occupied. Okay, but everything is mixed in with empty, abandoned, ramshackled properties that are just absolutely done for. They're done for. Okay, so it's terrible what's in the city of East Cleveland. We're hoping that the city sees these videos, the state of Ohio, the mayor of East Cleveland, all the politicians, everybody. We're hoping they see this video and they will take some sort of action to promote the safety of the kids. Okay, these kids are at risk with all this broken glass, these buildings that are falling in, the bricks are falling in. It's a public safety hazard. Okay, we've been riding around for 25 minutes up and down State Route 6, down to Back Street. Look at these buildings that are empty and abandoned. They're completely, look how big those buildings are. Lots of people lived in those buildings. Okay, they're all empty and abandoned. Okay, that State Route 6 is just as bad, and that's a state route, and they let it be that way. It's unbelievable to me. Okay, so before I forget, please like, subscribe, share this video. I'm hoping that if you do that, it'll gain popularity and the right administrators and politicians will see it, and it might help cause action for the better, for the safety of our children, the safety of our adults, the safety of the city, the reputation of the city in general. There's that empty house again. That house clearly been on fire. The safety of it in general. It's all bad, as they say. It's all terrible, and there are some good houses mixed in with the bad houses, as you saw, and it's just ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. This is Stanwood again, where I showed you the two buildings that were 50 yards away from the elementary school. We're going to go on past. We're in a school zone. Okay, so this is a closer look again. That's the high school, home of the Cardinals. Okay, I guess the Cardinals is the name of the team for the school, football or basketball or whatever, you know. Let's go down this street. What's this street? This street is called Sheldon. Looks pretty good for East Cleveland. Let's see what we can find on Sheldon. Now I see the high school right here, down here on the corner. That means there's a lot of kids, young adults, that travel this neck of the woods. Okay, and this side, this is part of the high school here. They built a brand new high school. You see, it's pretty nice, you know. This part looks pretty good. I don't see any houses that are ramshackled and abandoned and all that, but it's still not up to par. I'm gonna take another video tomorrow of an apartment building that is a multi-million-dollar apartment building that is completely done in. No life left in it at all. Investors have come and looked at it and said, okay, we're going to buy it and fix it up, but they were just talking and they left and never could. Look at all these empty abandoned storefronts. Okay, there's one store here, Food Town, on the corner. One store on the corner that's still in business. Okay, there's another hotel here. They're still in action. All right, the city of East Cleveland is so bad. Everywhere you look, there's bad properties. Okay, here's another apartment building. Okay, and you can see that they broke in the front glass and the doors. That's a big apartment building. The Burnett building, it says. And it's ramshackled. It's empty. The steps are cracked up. Those were expensive steps. Expensive stonework. And that building is completely gone. Completely. There's no hope left for that building. Has to be torn down. So we're going to go down this street here just because I see this apartment building. And a lot of them are apartment buildings. They're houses too, but the apartment buildings are major problems because they're usually made out of brick. Okay, as you can see, you got your graffiti. Okay, you got your windows boarded up. The windows are all missing, and you look through that window and you can see right to the sky. The roof is completely caved in on that building. That building can be done nothing but torn down and gotten rid of. People dumping. That's a TV cover from an old TV. People dumping mattresses and tires. And then right next door looks like a 4-suiter apartment building that's also empty and abandoned. And the windows are gone. The front porches and that are done for. And it looks like they haven't dumped a whole lot of stuff here, but we'll see. There are some tires dumped. That's a big apartment building. No, that looks like an 8-suiter. 8 families could live in that building. Used to live in that building. People go down the street and they dump tires. You see 8 tires there. They can dump those 8 tires so fast that you don't even have time to call the police. They're gone. And once they're gone, they're gone. It's over. Okay? You can see that high-rise building over there. That building has a terrible reputation. Lots of drugs, vagrants, vermin, bugs. That's Crystal Towers. Very bad building. Got some houses that look like they are occupied.